Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Victoria Day edition of the Virtual Collage Jam, May 18th, 2020. I'm sorry, it is miserable outside, so hopefully you're inside and ready for a little fun and color and community. And I'll just make my background a little nicer there. Well, it's a relative term, right? So, welcome aboard, everyone. Hope you're doing okay. Wow, how long have we been in isolation now? Kim, how many weeks has it been? She's very good with these kind of things.
My last public appearance
was the 13th,
was
right?
the 13th of March.
Yep. Hey, Jane. So we were just talking about how long it's been since we went into isolation. I think the last day I worked at Nielsen was, Jane saying 9 weeks. 9, and then she said, Cal, it's 9 weeks. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So yeah, wow, that is a long time. And I know they're talking about relaxing restrictions a little bit. I'm not going to be in any hurry. Neither is Kim, because it's deadly, right? So I'm not in any rush. So, yeah. What else? What else?
We have some color therapy.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Kim's pointing at my. Just leave it there.
Don't show me.
Oh right, yes. Sorry. So they're not showing Kim, but there's some color therapy right there. So drink that in. That is just part of what I've got cooking today. Holy moly, suddenly there are 1 million people. Hi, everybody, welcome. There were 2 comments from Jane, and then I turned away for a half a minute, and everyone's arrived. Welcome aboard. Yeah, and he's saying only 9 weeks. Yeah, it does feel longer, doesn't it? And it just seems to go in waves. At first I was freaked out, then I sort of found a rhythm, and then I got freaked out again, and then I found a rhythm, and then I got tired, and then I got my energy back. And hey, we're still in still in lockdown. So in fact, Annie was with me in the morning. I was teaching a VAM course this morning, so she's having a double day. Welcome back. Hope you got a little lunch in, maybe a little power nap. And Joy and Anne and Annie and Kay and Judy and Francois and Catherine. Hi, Catherine. And Kathleen. Hey, Kathleen. From dreary London. Well, I'm here to say Brampton is probably just as dreary. So it's going to be up to us to to make it less so, and I know you guys are more than up to it. So is Ricky here? Oh, yeah. Hi, Ricky. Welcome back. And Mira is ready to do some more art battle.
Shall I read off the names of people who are here? Yes, please. So Jane and Ricky are here.
Yep.
Sarah.
Excellent.
Joy.
Hey.
Anne.
Hello.
Annie. Kay. Judy. Françoise.
Hello, Françoise. Françoise was also here this morning, so for a double dose.
Catherine. Kathleen. Mira. Valerie.
Hey, Val.
Sarah. Lillian.
Hi, Lillian. Winnipeg, right? Yeah, that's great. Oh, I love it. So
Joy and Gunta.
Joy from Salt Spring and Gunta from St. Catharines. So yeah, wow. We got the nation covered and more.
And Philippa's made it, and Sarah.
Hello, Philippa. Hi, Sarah.
Other Sarah.
Yay, yes.
Sarah is in my.
It is. Oh yeah, cool. Sarah, you are a refugee from Kim's class. You're all welcome here. So I hope you've got some great songs picked out to do a collage based on. Oh, actually, before I get into that, every once in a while I have a little announcement, and I have a little announcement. Nothing momentous, but I think it's something you might want to know about. Late on Friday, I got an email from the organizers of Raw Artists, and in fact, it's basically it's an international organization, and some of you may have come to I know Jane was there, and probably a few others. In 2017, I took part in a Raw Toronto showcase at the Mod Club, and Raw events are these events where you have artists exhibiting, but then you have fashion on the stage, someone playing music, a DJ, and all kinds of different. The one I was in had a photographer, it had a makeup artist, so people could go and have like dramatic theatrical makeup done, and then they walked around the room. So it's very multifaceted and quite fun. And I got an email from them on Friday saying that they are launching an initiative for Saturday, June 6th, and it's called the National Arts Drive. And so what it is, and it's free to join, so nationalartsdrive.com, it is an opportunity for any artist, whether you're a performing artist, a visual artist, to do something at your house, on your front lawn, in your driveway, on your balcony, somewhere where the public can see it. And they're going to be publicizing it like mad. And it's a 3-hour window, the same 3-hour window across the country. So here in Eastern Standard Time, it's from 4 to 7 p.m. And people can just go out and drive around. And everyone who registers gets a little pin on their map, so people who are interested in driving, like they can say, "Oh, look at there are these artists in our area, so let's drive to there, over to there, over to there."
It's like a studio.
So
tour.
It's like a national studio tour by car at social distance, and I think it's a really great idea. So I'm going to be taking part in that, and I hope you guys would consider it too, because I think it'd be kind of fun. So yeah, so nationalartsdrive.com. To find out more and to register. Okay, so without further ado, let's get back onto the collage topic at hand, which is pick a song, make a collage. So hope you guys have a song picked out, and I just had so much trouble deciding, and there was a band that in Canada that I really loved, an album from, it's got to be 15 years ago now, sadly, called The Weaker Thans. And they were they always had very clever lyrics. And I always have an ear out for the lyrics. And I thought, wow, that's not just lyrics, that's literature. And so clever and funny and like beautifully written. And so then they went out of my consciousness and I forgot about them. And I was thinking about them a few days ago, and I was thinking, oh, I wonder what happened to them. So I went back and found they had released another album and then had disbanded. But I found a song from the album. Now I can't even remember the name of the album. Arg. Anyway, the song I'm going to play with today is a Weaker Thans song. The writer's name is John K. Sampson. He's the lead singer, and he was, and now he's got a solo career. The song is called Tournament of Hearts, and it's a song about what trouble with a relationship, all using curling terminology. So I'm going to play with, I've printed off a picture of him. I've printed off some curling diagrams. This one I like because it's sketchier. It's a little less professional, which is kind of fun. And I dug out some playing cards, which I am hoping to find some hearts, because the Tournament of Hearts, I don't know whether it still is, but it was for a long time either the national, forget whether it was national men's and women's or national women's or men's, I can't remember, curling tournament in Canada. So that's a very Canadian thing, isn't it? A song about curling. So there you go.
Val says that she found this challenge hard.
Oh, interesting. Lots of us take cues from visual things, but it can be interesting to take cues from other non-visual things. Like smells or sounds or even other visual disciplines, but that have three-dimensional quality. So something I'll throw at my students sometimes in some of our more experimental courses is I'll say, pick a piece of architecture and make a piece of art about it, or pick a poem and make a piece of art about it, or pick a song, or pick a there's something else, but it's not. Oh, it's a piece of sculpture and make a piece of visual art, two-dimensional, to respond to it. So that's what I'm going to do. Without further ado, I see Kim's fingers are flying, so you've probably got some things to say, and so she'll pass those along. I'll get started, and you can also tell Kim what song you're playing with, because I'm dying to hear. So let's get this party started. I wish we could play music, but copyright issues just mean we can't. So sorry, unless it's mine and I'm not a musician. So, which is actually a good thing that I'm not a musician. So, all right.
Dale says, "What a great idea, and so open to interpretation."
Yes, I think that's you know, the whole the last one with the matches is very specific. I mean, it's amazing what people can do with a very specific prompt too, but I thought it'd be nice to have something that was way more open than to interpretation for the next one. So I'm glad you like it.
Lillian mentions curling is big in capital letters in Winnipeg.
And John K. Sampson and the Weaker Thans are from Winnipeg, and you owe yourself, do yourself a favor, that's what I'm trying to say, get this sentence off the ground, to look up the song by the Weaker Thans. You can find it on YouTube. It's called One Great City, and it's about Winnipeg, and it's the chorus is "I hate Winnipeg," but you can tell he loves Winnipeg as well. It's really great. The lyrics are priceless. So if you're a Winnipegonian, it behooves you to listen to it.
I hate. What's it called?
It's the chorus is "I hate Winnipeg," but I think it's called "One Great City."
One Great City. Okay.
Like one great city, you know.
Okay, I've got some songs here.
All right. Sing me some songs. Well, actually, just tell me their names. But you could sing them.
First, I'll say Kay says, "Can't wait to see this. My family are all big curlers, and I like the band too."
Oh, yes. I love, excellent. Yay.
Adele says, "I'm doing rock around the clock."
So am I. Curling rocks. Well, that's got imagery made for it, right? You've got the circle. Hey, you've got a previous theme. You've got the circle. You've got time, and then you've got how you rock around it, and so it's made for.
Yeah, Cal might have to do that one too.
It's.
Mia's just arrived.
Hi, Mia.
Sarah Cowling says, "I am thinking about an old song. Fly Me to the Moon."
Oh,
Fly me to the moon.
Yeah, and Frank Sinatra is the right person for that song. I remember listening to that as my parents played it. They were Sinatra fans.
Kay says, "I'm going to play with the Beatles, In My Life." Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's a pretty great.
That's the song that I've sung at weddings.
Yeah, Kim has sung that at weddings, so yeah.
I love that song. It has been a very meaningful song for much of my life at critical moments. Yes.
That is true. Like the Beatles, you can say this of so many of their songs, but I can just imagine that if they looked back on their career and looked at a song like that and said that was the zenith and nothing else really mattered, what a great gift, right? But then there were dozens of them. So, yeah.
Joy says, "Yes, I like this about song. It brings joy to all and feeds our souls."
It does indeed.
Rena is interpreting Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Oh, there's another.
Wow, you guys are like pulling out all the heavy duty stuff. That's great. Yeah.
Judy says, I'm focusing on Another Day by Paul and Linda McCartney.
That's a very appropriate one for the time, isn't it? I mean, I'm not familiar with the song, but just from the title, it seems like a very COVID song, appropriate.
Mia's using a song that's one of my favorites, Green Onions, Booker T and the MGs.
Oh, that's just such a... That
iconic.
is the coolest song ever, period, full stop. And it's really short, and it just... and it's so sparse, but it's so perfect, right? It's just that, oh, yeah. There's another one, like, if that was all you wrote in your whole lifetime,
yeah,
your work is done, right?
Françoise has chosen Gracias a la Vida, Thanks to Life.
I don't
which
know
is
that.
about gratitude.
Oh.
So we're going to have to look that up, Françoise, and really thank you for
that's a beautiful
opening us up to that.
Great sentiment, right? So, and also nothing like tough times to make you grateful for what you've got, right? And yeah. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Cal. I think I can speak for everybody here in thanking you. Joy says, I'm interested in You've Got a Friend, Carole King, 1971. That's what a classic.
Yeah.
Rena says, let's hear Kim. Well, fortunately, I can beg off because of copyright, although they might not recognize it. So that, there's that.
I don't think you can beg off of because of copyright, because it's your cover of it, right? So, but I won't put you on the spot or anything. No. She's not interested in, and who can blame her, right? So,
yeah, maybe another time. I'll do a spontaneous live when I'm feeling of interest. Valerie has chosen Echo Beach by Katrina and the Waves.
Wow.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, that was a great song.
That transports me right back to a dance floor.
Yeah, that puts me... I can hear that playing on CFNY.
Yeah.
Summer. Roller skating somehow. I don't know. Yeah.
Sherry. Hi, Sherry.
Hello, Sherry.
I played my songs as I worked on my collages, added inspiration. I finished Big Yellow Taxi, and I'm working on In These Shoes, having a hoot.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And Sherry knows how to have a hoot, if I may say.
Yes. Is that Sherry Ricola? Yeah. Hello, Sherry. Yes, you do. You are you are sunshine, baby.
Yeah. Lillian says, I'm still working on my coronavirus collages in a journal, listening to 3 roommates in Barcelona on day 28 on their balcony composing songs.
Oh.
And called Stay Homas Confination Songs.
Nice. Wow.
That's so
neat. Is that something that they have released online, or is it a YouTube video that they've done? Or that's great.
Maybe they have a YouTube journal.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the next thing.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't have anything more. I don't got more.
Okay. Catherine Brown says, Gracias a la Vida. What a beautiful song. I did a painting about it.
Oh. Lovely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sarah Rick says she's trying Michael Jackson's Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. I dare anyone to remain unhappy when you listen to it. That recommends it right there.
Yes,
Sarah.
That does. I'm not familiar with it, but it sounds like it's a good one.
Jane says, I'm doing an old one too. The Folk Who Live on the Hill, written by Jeremy Kern, often played by George Shearing, and sung by Mel Torme. Am I showing my age or what?
You're showing your taste, that's for sure.
Mel Torme was from the Hamilton area, and my first husband's dad, so my former father-in-law, was friends with him. I think they may have gone to school together and all that. So yeah,
Cool.
that was neat. Judy, the music is upbeat, but the words are sad. That's the Another Day.
Right.
Sarah Boyles. In my search this morning, I found old camp books, ripping them up and making a collage of words and music.
Ooh.
Nice.
Now, when you say old camp books, do you mean like books about like camping skills, like for Boy Scout or Girl Scout?
Camp songs.
Or camp songs?
That'd be interesting.
Songs and camp and art, they all go nicely together.
I have so many fond memories of singing around campfires.
Yes.
One of my favorite parts of Girl Guides was singing. Actually, I had a lot of favorite parts of Girl Guides.
Yeah, Kim was a major Girl Guide fanatic. Didn't do it enough though, right?
Well, it kept me sane.
Yeah.
More or less. Annie says, thinking of Rainbow Connection.
Oh, I don't know that one. Who's that by?
Or maybe it's just the idea of Rainbow Connection.
Maybe, yeah.
She doesn't say it's a song, so
yeah.
We could use some rainbows today.
Yes.
Gunta said she did Wild Thing on the weekend. There's a classic.
Oh, there's another one that's just like genre defining, right?
They need a playlist of songs like that.
So with all of this talk, I mean, it's get me wanting to listen to stuff too. But for those of you who know how to do it, if you can, when you post your pictures, also post a link to a YouTube video of the song, maybe a live performance or the actual video or whatever. That would be great, so that we can look at your collages and listen to its soundtrack. That'll be a ton of fun.
And if you don't know how to post a YouTube link, then please just say the name of the song and the artist performing it. Yes,
say who you'd like, and we'll do our best to get it on up for you.
Yeah. So Gunta said she did Wild Thing on the weekend, but since she has more of a classical leaning, she's now interpreting Gluck's Dance of the Blessed Spirits, which is not something I may have heard it, but I don't recognize it from the title.
I don't know that, but that sounds great.
Catherine Brown says, I'm doing an old song called Follow the Trail to the Open Air.
So when does that date from?
And who sings it?
Yeah.
Is it a traditional song? Sherry says, hi, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, and Gwen has joined us.
Hey, Gwen. How are you? What are you...
She's got now.
Okay. All right.
She says, hi, Cal and Kim. I'm going to do some color swatches today. I'm thinking of the song about when you're happy and when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Let's give it up for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lillian says of that, those Spanish roommates that are doing that, they have 100,000 followers now.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Art is going to get us through, you know?
All kinds of art.
I am so grateful for everyone else who's doing their part. Like anyone in the healthcare profession, right? All the delivery people, all the essential services people, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on and on and on. Grocery store heroes. But as artists, we have a role too, which is to keep people's spirits as high as we can keep them, right?
So, and to keep our own
spirits up. Yeah, exactly.
Via art. One of the things that just what you're following, Lillian, is making me think of something I'm really enjoying right now is the brilliant British actor and director Samuel West, who's been in all kinds of classic movies. So he has been reading poetry online, and he's got a hashtag on Twitter, Pandemic Poetry, and you can find his readings on SoundCloud. And he's tremendous actor, and so he reads the poetry beautifully, and he has a gorgeous voice, and it's such a treat. It's good for the soul.
Yeah.
Rena says, my other choice was What a Wonderful World, sung by Louis Armstrong. The lyrics seem to be something we need to hear nowadays. However, Hallelujah won as I couldn't get the tune out of my head. It was sticky. That's a good reason.
Yeah, it's nice when you get the one you love stuck in your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to one you really don't like.
You never liked to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like Velcro.
Yeah.
Annie says, Kermit the Frog. Joy says,
it ain't easy being green, Kermit the Frog.
That's right. Joy says, Kathy, it sounds like a song from Halliburton with a rainbow emoji.
Ah, yes.
Mira, I am doing Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. Oh, yes. Yeah. Mira's got that rock energy in her.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Led Zeppelin recently on Spotify, because I had a bunch of the albums, but I didn't have some of them. I didn't have, and I've listened to Stairway to Heaven way too many times. It's such a great. It's another like impossible to like. It's so perfect for what it was. And then I was listening to on Spotify to. It's a live recording from when they were at their peak, like early 70s, called How the West Was Won, from Los Angeles. I think there might have been one other gig. They took a couple of concerts there. And so a lot of live recordings leave me sort of nonplussed, but this one has all kinds of their classic things, including Stairway to Heaven. And it's just different enough to make it like, it doesn't change it from being the great song that it is, but it's like got a little bit of difference because it's live, right? And they always would play with it. So definitely worth a listen.
Joy says, that's a great idea. Song and collage go well together. The ultimate in creativity, with a sunflower emoji.
I happen to agree.
Catherine says it is an old camp song based on the music of The Swing by William Luton Wood. New words by Agatha Deming. Wow. That's so cool. Old camp songs. That's a lovely idea. Yeah. Especially now that the camping weather is closer and closer. Well, I mean, I would totally camp in this. But.
Yes, Kim is quite an intrepid camper. I'm a little less adventurous, but she's camped in Algonquin in mid-March in a tent, and not like when she was 18, like how long ago? Less than 10 years ago. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Leaving Cal at home, I may add.
in my nice cozy house. And I think that just predates cell phones. So what she'd do is she'd tromp out to the payphone so that she could call me to let me know she hadn't died of frostbite or whatever, and sit there like freezing. Stand. Yeah.
There was no sitting.
No. You'd be worse sitting, right?
No, but they didn't have anything to sit on the phone.
And the phone would not be long enough to sit down even on the ground if you wanted to. So.
Pretty funny. Sherry says art is amazing therapy for the artist and the viewer. And Mia says, "Go Mira, love." Joy, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm just barely started, but it seems that this John K. Sampson is a fairly unassuming guy, and I thought there's a Canadian rock hero for you, right? The lumberjack shirt and hands in pockets, looking sort of sheepish, or not like Led Zeppelin, for instance.
Yeah, with his plaid shirt.
Yeah.
Joy asks, "What about Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon?"
Oh, another seminal album. Yeah.
Yeah, that really is. Gunta says, "I think Doris Day's Que Sera Sera would be appropriate for the times."
Yeah.
When I
Kim's father would agree.
Yeah. When I play this for older adults in the pool, we all sing lustily. Lifeguards roll their eyes. Never heard of it or Doris Day.
What will be, though.
Gunta asks me, why? Presumably, why would I go camping in March?
Oh, I thought why would you marry me?
No. I don't think that came up, dear. I'm not.
No, I would, because I just made it was too fast.
Sorry.
I just made that hopeless Que Sera joke. So
sorry, dear.
No, it's fine. Nothing. I was thinking these might be fun to make, like, icons with the sort of halo, the gold and the halo behind. I thought maybe the curling, the sheet perfect. Markings would be kind of fun to do, like icon Sam. It also looks like a target, so I'm a little concerned about that. So
well,
maybe
it is behind his head, though.
Yes.
It's not in front.
But there's something about the crosshairs. I might have to take those out, but we'll see.
If I may.
You may.
Just add more radial lines, and then they become
right. Then
radials, not crosshairs.
See? This is why I married her. She's not just a pretty face. So I don't know if you heard that, but I was concerned about the crosshairs, which are curling, and she said if you just add more of the lines, so that it becomes rays, and that also makes it feel more icon-like. So perfect. I'm just gonna have to go find a pen.
What kind of pen?
In my studio.
Yeah.
I think it should be visible.
Yeah. What kind of pen?
The Staedtler fine liner pens. There's a little 4-pack of them.
The gray ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think there should be something there. So
okay.
That would be great. Thank you.
Now the clock is on top of a box that probably has like 8 of them.
Well, then don't run away. I'll just check the box first.
Okay. The other box.
The other box.
Yeah, it's always the other box, right?
Yeah, because I looked in this one, so it's the other box. It looks exactly the same.
There they are.
No shortage.
So Mia would like to know what song you are collaging to. The problem is you can't play music.
Yeah, I can't play it, but you can look it up online and I will post it. I am collaging to the song Tournament of Hearts by the Weaker Thans. And
I'll type that in.
How do you feel about reciting poetry?
I can do that.
Yeah, so I did print out the lyrics as reference. So Kim might read them for us if she's feeling like it. She might not if she's not.
I'll give you a chance to make some headway on to see if there was. Oh, I'll just mention a couple. Sherry loves the icon halo. Nancy. I don't think Nancy was here earlier.
Oh, hi, Nancy.
Said hi. She's struggling with Let It Be. That's a great song.
Another just so packed with emotion song
And ideas.
and ideas. Yeah.
All right.
So Kim is going to read you the lyrics to.
This is Tournament of Hearts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a cold read. I haven't read this before, so. Now the lounge is full of farmers for the 7:30 draw. Teammates all left before they had to buy a round. When they pull the 50-50 and I've lost again, I'll go. Maybe have one more brown one for the snowy road. All the championship banners going yellow on the wall, and my name when it gets closer to last call. So Elvira brings my bottle, hold it up, and let it bend. Figures of tunics battling an extra end. And I'm peeling off the label as they peel a corner guard. Dance down the sheet to the tune of Hurry, Hurry Hard. And my popcorn squeaks with question, wonders why I'm not at home. Where you wait beside a silent telephone, doodle circles within circles, all alone. Have to stop myself from climbing on the table full of empties to yell. Why? Why can't I draw right up to what I want to say? Why can't I ever stop where I want to stay? I slide right through the day. I'm always throwing hack weight. Right off. No, never, never, ever, ever. Right off. No, never, never, ever, never. Right off. No, never, 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 ever. Right off. No, never, ever, never, ever. Right off. No, never, never, ever, ever. Right off. No, never, never, ever, never. Right off. No, never, 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 ever. Right off. No, never, ever, never, ever. Now the senior Bonspiel winners circa 1963 are all staring, glaring, disapprovingly from their frame in that old photograph, and I know you're out there waiting for an answer I can't give you. So tell me, why? Why can't I draw right up to what I want to say? Why can't I ever stop when I want to stay? We roll right through our years. We rip right through our months. We slide through our days. I'm always throwing hack weight. Right off. No, never, never, ever, ever. Right off. No, never, never, ever, never. Right off. No, never, ever, never, ever. Right off. Thank you, Cal.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Joy asks, can you include lyrics in your collage?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I
I think it's covered by the right.
Yeah. I'm positive you can't put a lot in, but I'm wondering whether you could put a phrase in.
Breaking it up is a wise thing to do.
Right. Yeah.
So that it's not, don't just print some lyrics out and stick a chunk of them in.
Yeah.
It needs to be broken up. It needs to be interfered with. It needs to be made into something new.
Yeah. So I think when a show uses music, unless they've got permission, they can, I think it's 6 seconds of a song that they can play. So you'll hear people saying, oh, you know, this was such a great song, and they'll play this little tiny clip and you go, oh, I want to hear more, but it's because they haven't got the rights. So they can only play a very short chunk of it. And I think the same thing goes for lyrics.
Very much. Those are publishing rights, the lyrics.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they've got teams of lawyers.
Yeah, exactly. So I might use the occasional word or a couple of words in this, but I will try and make it minimal.
Yeah. A short phrase, like you could probably get away with.
Yeah.
Where are we here? Sherry, when in doubt, Nancy, integrate the literal. Bees, as in buzzing bees.
Right.
Leaded bees.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
And it makes it more playful too, right? And it makes it a little trickier and more rewarding for your viewer, right? Because they will like, oh, bees, right? So yeah.
Mia's very nicely thanking me for reading. It's a very deep lyrics, and I think that's why part of why you were drawn to it, right?
Yeah, he has a sense of humor that I appreciate, and is quite literate. I think way more literate than I am. I think he's been a writer in residence with his wife at the Winnipeg Library, Lillian, just in case you're, well, I know there are a lot more libraries. Millennium, does that ring a bell? Is there a Millennium Library in?
Yeah, I think I've been in it.
Yeah.
On one of my big road trips. Joy says, okay, that's useful. I'm not up on these rules. Slade says, I think it would be considered fair usage, like quoting something from a book in a book review. Yeah, the music industry though is their copyright things are somewhat different and very can be kind of toxic at times. So I'd be a little gun shy. Mia says, if I used even a tiny phrase, I would include a full citation credit. I wouldn't worry so much about that, but just I'd make it a tiny phrase, that's all. And then it should be fine. But of course, you can always give them credit. Sherry, I'm integrating some of the sheet music, totally unrecognizable. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Because you're breaking it up, presumably, in various ways. Good. Look at those nice rays.
Bless you. I was thinking that I should have measured them with a protractor instead of just winging it.
I do understand why you would feel that way, but I heard you this morning say to your student, remember this is a handmade item.
And I am trying to listen to my own advice. Damn him.
So it's allowed to have irregularities.
Yeah, and it's gonna.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to embrace it.
You are using a ruler, which is funny.
Yes, I am using a ruler.
But I guess the existing lines were ruler straight, so.
When in Rome.
Yeah, sorry. Oh.
What else is happening in chat, Bill? Or are they busy collaging?
Joy said, would that be the same for using a cartoon from the newspaper, for example? So once we're in, visual media territory, then it's the same rules of
she
collage.
Probably, yeah. So if you took a complete cartoon strip and pasted it on with nothing interfering with it and maybe minimal around it, then it's really riding too heavily on that. If it's got a ton of other stuff around it, it's a complete strip. It's still iffy, but probably better. And if you start taking bits out and I'm taking this character out, using that background chunk over here and intermixing it with your own stuff, you're totally well on the way to being fine. You are fine. Yeah. So the more you mess with it, the better.
But there is a whole school of collage that's very minimalist, right?
Yes, and I flirt with that. So I struggle sometimes because I find images that I just like, oh, that's a great image. I want to use that. and then I don't mess with it enough. So that is my thing that I am trying to work on. Not being so enamored of the image that it. So this one, for instance, I've cut it out. This is a portrait. It had a credit and everything. Same with this one. They were color photographs. I am going to use the larger head. I am also printed them in black and white because I think I'm going to use some color over top of them, some like watercolor crayons. And I'm probably also going to try and crowd in on it with some other elements. That's all in the back of my head, but I haven't got that far yet. So
Joyce says, okay, that's helpful.
Good.
Mia says, I need to give myself permission to mess with images.
Yes, you and me too. Me and me both.
Well, I think what you just described is really useful. So if you have an image that has, subjects or objects in them and backgrounds, cut out the subjects and objects from those backgrounds.
Yeah. That immediately takes it one step away for sure.
Yeah. And then you could look at cutting out a part of each of those and then arranging them in a way that makes it very different. Because that's the alchemy of working with appropriated images, but turning them into something new, I think.
Yeah, and there are many ways of doing it. Some people do it with painting over. Some people do it with editing out via cut and paste or pasting things over significant parts of an image. Cutting it into like strips or unusual shapes.
Yeah. Or using the flip side.
Yeah, that's something I do every so often is I cut an image out of a magazine, and because magazines are printed on both sides, I'll always flip it over to see if the collage gods gave me something, and every once in a while they really do. It's like, oh, I cut out this woman on the runway, but when I flip it over, I've got another image showing through her silhouette, which is like, haha, right? So you get both the silhouette and the image showing through it, and it's, and now 9 times out of 10, it's like, meh. But every once in a while, it's like that. I think it's Buddhist, but I'm not sure. That like, let your line always be set when you least expect it. There will be a fish. A collage fish. Oh, I'm messing this up big time, and I'm just going to go with it.
More is more.
More is more. More is getting more and more and more. More and more messed up. It's starting to look like a radially laced bicycle wheel done by someone on acid.
Pretty funny coming from you.
Yes. Never having touched drugs in my life. I've never smoked, and my parents smoked.
Well, you smoked secondhand.
Yeah, I smoked plenty, like too much, right? First 23 years, 24 years of my life, I smoked heavily.
Yeah.
Including in utero. So I'm doing my best to undo it.
I used to smoke a very long time ago.
Yes.
When we first started, I was smoking.
Yeah.
But it wasn't very far into our time together that I quit.
No, I was a good influence on her.
Yeah.
Mostly. In that respect, definitely, but others are questionable.
Mia says about smoking exactly the same here, Cal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You do what you can do, right?
Mia says, glad you do not smoke any longer. So am I, Mia. Although I had dreams that I was a secret smoker for decades after quitting. 20 years later, I was having dreams about it.
Yeah, she'd wake up and say, I had another dream that I was secretly smoking and I had never quit. And I was so ashamed of myself. And it's like, wow, this shows you the power, right? Because you've been a non-smoker longer than been a smoker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It really rewires your brain. Aside from anything else. So you're making the intermediate radius. Looks like you're almost done there.
They're kind of almost right, but not quite. So
that's
perfect.
The way they're going to be.
No, that's the way they're going to be. And I've made my peace with it.
I see you have playing cards out. That's interesting.
Yeah, I got playing cards out because Tournament of Hearts, right? So I pulled out all the hearts and just thought, you know, could come in handy.
How could I miss that? Joy says she never smoked anything except a cigarello.
Wow.
My father used to like to smoke those sometimes. I tried them. Pretty strong. Just to look hip. Yes. Back in the day when smoking looked hip. Mia says, Kim Lee, I completely understand your dreams. The dreams and nightmares I get are out of this world. My husband has to shake me out of them because I apparently scream. Wow.
Wow. You poor thing.
That's intense. Jeez. I just woke up feeling racked with guilt and shame.
Just.
On the flip side, though, sometimes I have dreams and I'm laughing, and then Cal tells me I'm laughing.
Yeah,
he can hear me laughing.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. Sarah Ricks asks, Cal, what do you teach?
Collage. I teach a wide range of things, but probably the things I teach most are, I teach basic composition and color, and then whatever else I'm teaching that's under there because of my design background.
When you teach a little further, you teach more than just basic.
So I teach introductory and then more advanced, where we sort of go more open-endedly into design and color issues. I teach some painting courses. I'm teaching right now a beginning abstraction course, so we look at all the different aspects of why abstract and how to abstract, different motivations for it. I teach a lot of different things. I'm also teaching an urban landscape course right now. It's not a particular bent of mine. I don't do much of it, but I like coming up with interesting challenges for artists. I think that sort of sums up what I'm about, I think. I just figured it out in speaking. Regardless of what we're investigating, I like to give people interesting challenges that allow them to both express themselves and still have something to hang on to, right?
Learn and grow,
you know, one hand is securely on the rung of the ladder, and the other hand's like reaching for something they're trying to achieve, right? So, I think that's it. So.
And you've taught drawing.
Yeah, I mean, I've taught several dozen things, it seems, but collage is a big one. Sort of explorational type of painting and drawing and visual art. I haven't taught much photography at all, I don't think, but I use it a fair bit. Am I missing
Indoor
anything?
street art.
Yeah, that didn't run ahead. Go ahead.
It did. Remember Station
Oh
Gallery?
yeah, I did. Yeah,
that?
yeah. So I'm interested in that. Maybe I'll run that when COVID is over. So that at least gives you a bit of a range of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
And you can always visit his website, and I'll put it in the chat.
Yes, thank you. calhoney.ca though. And I have a teaching page there that lists current courses. Right now, I think they're all underway, but there will be more. Oh, I can't get my collage and me into the picture. There we go.
If I back it up a little bit more.
Thank you, Kim.
There.
I like this bigger head, but it covers the red circle, so I might have to expand that circle.
Uh-oh, now we're going to need the protractor.
Protractor? Don't you know this is loosey-goosey time for Cal today.
You could trace something.
No, I'm gonna have it sort of have
an intermediate one,
an uneven edge and blurred.
Okay.
So
cool. Wow.
But before I do that, I'm thinking I need to glue this down, and so I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, that's coming on top, but what do I need stuff behind it? How high do I want to go? I don't want to go. I don't need to go any lower than this thing here, so I'll cut that off. And I might put some blue and red behind it, maybe. It'd be kind of fun, like that and this. Is that a thick sheet or is it a thin sheet? That is a thick sheet. That's good.
Oh, that's a nice blue.
Yeah. They're both a little different than the blues in front, which is actually great, I think. So.
Irene says, I was scared out of smoking when I was 8 years old in grade 3. This cancer society came to our school and showed us a film and a lung of a smoker in a huge bottle.
Oh my God, that must have been traumatic, but effective, right? Yeah. I mean, on the plus side, that's why they put all those gruesome photographs on
the packages
of cigarettes now. Oh, I know. Cigarettes are a vile invention.
Irene adds, and I know that my parents would have killed me if I had ever smoked. Yeah. Annie mentions you taught perspective.
Right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Thank you, Annie. I think I kind of blotted it from my mind because it is...
Well, you teach experimental watercolors.
Yep. Oh, I so many things.
Yeah. The rules and how to break them. Isn't that a course you've done more than once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came up with the idea of teaching the rules and how to break them because composition and color are full of rules and they're useful to know, but they aren't gospel, right? They aren't carved in stone. You don't need, you need to understand how they work and then when you can ignore them. So I thought it was it would be an interesting course. So what we did was teach a rule every day. It was a 5-day intensive course. So we'd take one of the sort of cardinal rules of art making and in the morning, we'd look at some art history that followed it and why it was successful because they followed it. And then in the afternoon, we'd look at artwork that ignored it and why it was successful because they ignored it. So it's kind of
it's a fun
basis. It's a good premise. Yeah, I think if I do say so myself.
Oh, and assemblage.
Yeah, assemblage is so.
And boxes is art.
Yep. Art in boxes. that's something that I think will come back again.
Mia says, I used to make homemade cigarettes at home for my parents. That was fun. However, my amazing grandmother made me promise not to smoke ever. I kept that promise, and so glad I did. That's brilliant. My grandmother smoked, so I was out of luck. Yeah.
Probably, I mean, I don't know, but if you're making them at home, at least they're probably not as quite as full of like formaldehyde and all those unbelievably awful things.
Oh, they've got everything like cyanide, arsenic, every imaginable.
Like, who thought that was a great idea?
Why is that legal?
You know, I'm sure that, you know, and you look at like traditional indigenous use of tobacco. It was first of all, it's pure, right? And
Ritual.
it's ritual and ceremonial and not like chain smoking, right? So it had a place that was a much safer and better place, right? Just white people and men. Not only men.
Don't get on a rant.
I'm not going to get on a rant.
Oh dear. On my father's side of my family, my father's grandfather had a cigarette factory in Indonesia, which you know, it's a good place to have something like that. A, because you can grow anything there because of the volcanic soil, and B, because the labor is very inexpensive. But that's, you know, that's where they were from. So anyway, that got lost though in the politics of the country.
Oh, come on, make it so you can see it.
Yeah, you do need to make it just big enough to see. Valerie mentions that smoking used to be recommended for pregnant women. That's amazing. And athletes, I know, were like, because it would help them with their breathing.
In the 50s, there are pictures of Tour de France riders passing cigarettes between them to open up their lungs.
You can imagine. Oh my God.
But oh my God, they're like pregnant women, really?
Yeah. Wow. It's shocking.
Well, sadly, my mother smoked all the way through her pregnancies. So
yeah. Well,
knock wood that.
Just think you'd be Einstein now if it weren't for that.
No. It's a nice thought, but no.
Joy would like to know how you got into collage.
So
probably multiple, right?
Yeah, I'm remembering doing when we were still graphic designers, doing the occasional Christmas card using construction paper. And
oh, they were beautiful collages.
Yeah, and of course, you know, I scanned them and then they disintegrated, right? Because they were construction paper and they faded and fell apart. But for some reason, I've always liked cutting. I've sort of had a facility for cutting things, which may have come from model building when I was younger. If you ask any artist what is their absolute favorite tool, a lot of them will say like a particular kind of drawing tool or a brush, you know, their favorite sable brush, or in Kim's case, it would be like some crazy ass tool that she paints with, because she uses all kinds of bizarre things to paint with that aren't like painting tools, things she's got at Home Depot and so on. But I would say it's one of these for me. So, but as far as collage goes, I think it's in part that sort of cutting things. Sometimes a cut line looks different than a drawn line.
Being surrounded by magazines and print materials
Yeah.
from our
Yeah,
design
so
career.
our graphic design career, and I would occasionally do like a spot illustration using collage if we didn't have budget to hire an illustrator. And the other thing I think that is probably the biggest factor is, as a graphic designer, you brought a bunch of stuff together and figured out how is it going to be arranged, right? Like, oh, I'll make this thing bigger and I'll make this thing horizontal over here and I'll have it align with the eyes. So you're always like trying to create some kind of a dynamic order out of things. Typography, imagery, and so on, cropping, making something bigger or smaller, all to suit the way, in our case, it was magazines, so or promotion for magazines, so it would tell a story. So I think that whole idea of like taking different things and bringing them together in some interesting way draws on that, and collage is a perfect expression of it. So.
Well, thank you, Cal. Can't find your little cut. This is the problem as you get older, right? Your tiny little things that you do, you can't even see anymore.
And in this case, it's because I hadn't got to it. But
okay.
I could see the one on one side. I couldn't see the other one. I'm like, there we go. All right.
I think one of the things observing you about collage, thinking it draws together some things for you. It's very direct.
Yeah,
and immediate.
There's an immediacy. I think that's a word I often use when I describe collage, is immediacy. You can grab something, yeah, maybe you do some fine cutting on it or whatever, or not, but you can just like whack it down and see it, right? I mean, that's pretty great.
It is. I think also you like the spatial aspect of moving things in space.
Again,
you've got all these things around you and you lay them down and you rearrange them physically.
It is very akin to old school design when you actually made things rather than moving things around on the computer. Now the computer is jaw-dropping, but there is something about handling things and moving them around and like putting something down like this and then saying, okay, yeah, so if this goes, it should be up at the top or over to the side. Just the way you get instant feedback on every little different decision you make.
Mm-hmm.
And having things spread out and like, okay, no, not yet, but I'm going to keep you off to the side in the wings.
That's a spatial thing too.
Yeah, exactly. Like whatever little amount of organization I have in my life, which if you saw our house is very tiny, it's by sort of piles. You know, they say there are filers and pilers, and I am definitely a piler. Like I can find something if I remember where I piled it spatially.
Yeah, but if it gets put away in a cupboard or in a drawer, and it's pretty much lost to you.
And I can remember people's names as long as they sit in the same seats in a class. But if they move around every day, I'm lost. It's like there was a different face there last time.
Yeah. Joey says, that's neat. Pretty amazing. It all makes sense about you, Cal.
Sense. Uh-oh.
Mia says, I lean towards collage because I can move things around on the page before permanently gluing them down. And then she adds, haha, are you reading my mind?
I am. So whenever I start a collage course, I talk about the things I love about collage first, because not everyone does love collage. Some people need convincing, believe it or not. And you just hit on one of them, and I call it try before you buy. The fact that you can pick something up and lay it down, look at it, think about, like, is that the right spot? You can tap it a little further over, a little up. You can snip something off. You can leave it there and think about it. You can put it, take it off again. Like, you just can't have that sort of immediate trying and trying other things with other media in the same way, right? Drawing, no, it's draw. Oh, okay, I got to erase it. Draw, oh, paint. Okay, that's not quite the right color. I'll wait for it to dry. Collage, it's like, no, maybe a different. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, a little smaller, a little higher. Yeah, okay, that's good. Glue it down, right? Where do you get that elsewhere?
Valerie says collage is also very portable, and you can find material anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, I was last year. I was, and Val does. Val finds it in the river, among other places. I know.
Can we interest you in a shopping cart, Val? There's one in a creek nearby us.
Last June, I was doing working my way through the first part of the Randall Plowman collage workbook, doing a collage every day or two. And then we went away to visit friends in Ottawa, and I thought, okay, this is small. I can take this. I'll take a small stack of magazines and a few pieces of colored paper, a glue stick, a knife, a ruler, a pencil, and I actually did it while we were, having after dinner, people were sitting around having drinks and talking, and I was doing the same thing, but I was working. As a kid and still as an adult, hanging around just talking, it doesn't work for me. But if I can be doing something, I'm much happier. So, which is one of the reasons why I started this thing. I love talking and doing, not so much just talking. So I'm going to do some. Except I've lost my glue sheet. I think it's in my studio. I'll be back in a minute.
Sherry asks, remember doing text with Letraset?
Oh, do I?
Starting in college, right?
Yeah. No, actually.
In high school?
So Letraset was too expensive to use in high school, although I think we did occasionally. But we had the Letraset catalog. Yeah. So what we would do is put a piece of tracing paper over and carefully trace the A, and then carefully trace the next letter, then carefully trace the next letter until you had the word. And then we take it to the photocopier and blow it up to the size we needed. Then we trace that and transfer it onto our design.
So them were the days.
So, but yes, Letraset was actually a good hands-on kind of thing, and it really taught you kerning really well.
Yeah.
I miss Letraset. But man, you rub it down in the wrong places, like, oh, that was too much space. Oh.
One of my exciting watershed moments was when in my first graphic design business, which I had solo, sending out for custom rub down lettering and graphics.
Yeah.
So it's Letraset.
In fact, I was just going to ask if anyone remembered Chromatech, and that's what she's talking about. Yeah. So you could have any graphics or type or whatever, you'd send them out a black original, and you could specify what color it would come back in. And for the mere $120 or whatever it was, and 5 days later, it would come back to you, and you could rub down your very own custom graphics on your mock-up. just in time, you know, at 3 a.m. to get it done for the
Oh, it was
presentation.
always late at night.
Oh my God.
I remember doing
nothing was ever finished before midnight.
I had a client that was a new wine club called the Sommelier Club. And so I was making mocked up welcome kits for the photo shoot before the real ones
before the actual ones were
produced.
printed, right? Yeah.
And so I had to get rubbed down, type made, and some of it, this was an expensive bill because some of it was in metallic gold.
Oh, right.
And, you know, other colors. But oh, what a pleasure. That was fun.
And the terror, and there was also the terror because you'd spent all this money on it. And you usually had something that if you messed up, you didn't have a backup. So you'd be like, okay, I only have the one of this. Yeah. So I better rub it down in exactly the right place and pray it doesn't break. It was nerve-wracking.
That's why graphic designers
smoked, drank.
Well, yes, they had anxiety issues,
yes.
But they also were perfectionists.
Yes.
Because they, you know, you needed that drive to be very precise.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of money on the line every time you were doing something.
Yeah, graphic designers definitely come by their anxiety, honestly.
Yeah. Jane says collage is also quite challenging too, and that makes it a fun stressfulness.
Yes.
Get your mind off anything else except this little piece of paper. Yeah.
I think anything that sort of grabs a hold of you and gets you fully immersed in it is gold. I know like extreme athletes talk about how when the stakes are really high, like mountain climbers or you know, skiers who do like crazy stuff, they know that they can't have a stray thought in their head because everything is going into their effort. And that state of flow is a vacation from the rest of your life. And it's no surprise that a bunch of the people who are junkies for that have train wrecks of personal lives and so on, because they can't cope with that. But they can do this one thing. But I feel like making art is that flow experience, especially when, you know, it's like, wow, was that 4 hours? It felt like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Or you just have no idea how much time it's been because you've just been completely immersed, and you surface again and take a look around and, oh, right, the world is still here. And, you know, but you have been somewhere completely else, right?
Yeah. Marcia says, Cal, you don't whack anything down. Everything is measured and precise. I like to just rip things.
We are our natures. I do whack some things down, but it's true. I do a lot of measuring. It's my nature.
Joy says, you have a typo in the title, collage. We'll need another L.
Oh, okay.
Sherry says, sometimes I don't glue them. I love floating frames. And I think she actually means shadow box type frames, you know, where there's depth and glass.
Actually, what she means, I know, Sherry,
okay,
she means that the two glass sandwiches, so it just gets pressed together.
Yeah, got it.
And so it actually does float. And
clip frames.
But yeah, so it's not, it's just held in place by the glass.
Sandwich,
yeah, the sandwich, exactly.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Feeds into her Gemini nature. Artistic friends say I have attachment issues.
Just glue it already. No, you don't. You do. Yeah, exactly. You do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Do what works for you, right?
Catherine says collage is very exploratory and surprising.
Yes.
Yeah, serendipity is huge in collage.
It really is.
Yeah.
I do plan things, but I often just I start off on the plan and then it starts going this other way and it's like, oh, that's more interesting. Okay, I'm gonna follow that. So
Joy says, it offers so many possibilities. Thanks for introducing it to me, Cal.
I'm glad, Joy.
And Mia says to Sherry, love floating frames. Sherry says, I call it finding your bliss. Joy says, it's like creating a puzzle. It makes you think in so many different directions. And Mia asks Sherry, do you ever take the pieces out and rearrange them?
Yes, I bet you she does. But she'll tell us.
Well, now we're all dying to know,
Yeah,
Sherry.
yeah, you better tell. Spill the beans, Sherry.
That's right. Yes, I do, she says. Cal knew that was going to be the case. That's so funny. And Mia says, that's amazing. She loves that. You could make a pop-up.
I was thinking there's something fun about having the white head below.
Yeah?
I don't even know why.
Sherry, sometimes it's better the third or fourth composition, then I glue.
It's true.
So she's sitting with it.
Yeah.
Which is great.
An exercise that I've given people a few times in my collage, and it might have been one of the collage weeks you took, Sherry, is I say, cut out the letters of your name from a bunch of different papers, you know, whatever you've got, colored papers, patterned papers, photographs. And then what I want you to do is arrange them any which way you want. You can read it so that you read your name, or you can move them around and make them more abstract. You can flip them over, make them backwards, whatever's on the back might be interesting, but never gluing them down. So making an arrangement, taking a picture, making another arrangement, taking another picture, making another arrangement, taking a picture, making another arrangement, taking a picture. And invariably, well, not invariably, but most of the time, people get better and better and better. And we look at the pictures and it's like, yeah, that's okay. And then next, okay, that's more interesting. Next one's a little more interesting. Next one, oh, that's a bit of a clunker. Next one's really interesting. And the last one is often the best of all because people are warmed up. They're starting to see the potential. They're going past the sort of first thought that comes to mind immediately, and they're now exploring more, trying things more adventurously. And that's kind of exactly what Sherry's talking about with her clips frame, right? That's the best she's come up with so far. So she puts it in the frame and looks at it, maybe even puts it up on the wall for a while, and then a little later she looks at it and thinks, you know, and next thing you know, she's in the studio rearranging. Okay, I've got a new, same elements, new picture to look at. Think about it some more. Exactly.
I'm just going to get a refill on my drink.
That's a good idea.
Chat is quiet for the moment. So good time.
Mm-hmm.
We're all out of cookies, eh?
That's not a good thing when we're out of cookies. Kim's not happy.
We almost never have any cookies, of course.
Yes, of course, she can't eat practically every store-bought cookie in the world, which means that we have to make any cookies she can eat. And life has been a little busy.
Usually is.
Yes. do me a favor, darling?
What's that, my love?
Can you make a couple of copies of this Queen of Hearts?
Sure. Same size or a different size?
One the same size and one maybe 125.
Okay.
Thanks. I was looking at the playing cards that I've got and noticing that I had a Queen of Hearts, and since the song lyrics are both about curling and about his relationship, I thought, oh, Queen of Hearts, that should be in there. But I only have the one Queen of Hearts, so I'm gonna make a couple of copies so that I have something I can play with without destroying the original.
Oh, do you need premium bond in here?
It'd be better, but it's not preferred, but not essential. Kim will be back to the chat in a minute or two. She's just helping me out with a copy or two. I hope your collages are going well. I'm having a bit of what I often do, which is making it too structured and too predictable. So I'm going to try to defeat that a little bit. So maybe put there's lots of sort of centered, organized qualities to this. So I'm going to see if getting a few things off center. Yeah. So I'm going to show you something that immediately made me feel better. So I've got the rank graphics. I've got my two portrait things. I don't know whether I can hold this reasonably well. So this is where I was, and I was thinking, yeah, nothing too bad, but it's really, really, really centered. And so I thought, okay, well, let's see. What happens if we change that? Put the figure off center and tilt the card. And I'm not saying by any means that this is going to be the composition, but I found that, sorry for my fingers, it's all loose, but that was more interesting. So we'll see how that goes.
Better get caught up on the chat.
Thank you for the copies, Kim.
You're welcome. Mia says, what a fantastic exercise. I will try it. Maybe that should be our next collage topic.
All right. What was that?
Exercise of
name.
photographing.
Make a note. I will make a note. That will show up at some point. Letters of the name.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Sherry says, or I find a new piece to add.
Right, yes.
Adele says, I just finished and posted my collage.
Wow. You just don't waste time, girl.
Mia says, it's looking good, Cal. Don't think I could ever talk and create like you do.
Well, you'll notice oftentimes my collages end up looking different because after our social time, I go away and have like a little quiet time with my collage and think about it a bit more. And so
finish it.
Yeah, it often needs that sort of contemplative time. And it also benefits from, like, I do my first kick at it on the jam. then I go away and have dinner, a nap, or whatever, and then I either that evening or the next day or a few days later come back at it, and it's been percolating in the back burner. That's a mixed metaphor.
And that's
simmering on the back burner.
That's creativity for you right there in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Adele says the background of hers is from the famous Australian rock, the one that used to be called Ayers Rock, but now has an indigenous name.
Oh, okay. I don't know the indigenous name. Do you?
I've heard it many times, and it's not coming to mind yet. Anyway, we all know that big red rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says, Adele, I see it. It's fantastical.
Great.
And Adele says the rock is a painting she did of it.
Oh, nice. From a photograph, or were you there by any chance? It must be magnificent to actually be there.
I think you'd still want to do it from a photograph because it's hot.
Well, yes. But having actually seen something like that in person, even if you're working from a photograph, you have that experience in your head, right?
Yeah. And it's a sacred rock in Aboriginal culture. Jane says, yes, I like the tilted. Why am I not surprised, Jane? Because everything you do has such vitality to it. So you
energy.
Want something tilted, not too formal. Mia says, beautifully done, Adele. Hard rock, soft flowers, and lovely birds flying over the ocean.
Wow, this sounds great. I'm going to have to check it out.
Jane says, I love the percolating part. That's why I like getting the prompt several days before Monday.
Yeah, even if you don't actually even start until Monday, it's been in the back of your mind, right? That's why I try and get it out to you a few days ahead of time. I know some of you keeners have already done like 5 collages by the time we get to Monday, but that's good too, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Joy says, I guess you want the viewer's eye to roam or wander over the piece to figure it out, or do you need to offer an explanation?
There, of course, like anything else with art, there are differing opinions on that, and I think rightly so. Some people are fine with people seeing different things in it. Some people really want to get across a particular thing.
But that's a fool's errand.
It is a fool's errand because
everyone's so different.
Everyone has different experience. When I was young, I thought that there was always the answer, an unequivocal answer. When you looked at a painting, either you got it or you didn't. And either it was something wrong with me that I couldn't get it, or
something wrong with the art.
There's something wrong with the art. And I have learned the error of my younger ways. But titling comes into that too, right? If you title it untitled, you're saying, you come up with whatever. But oftentimes titles are just a few little breadcrumbs to sort of shift the way you look at it slightly. And so I think that can be fun. And I like writing. I don't write long things, but I like short things, short punchy things. So titling is actually fun for me. It drives me insane, but I also enjoy it. So figuring out how much do I want to reveal, how much do I want to suggest with that.
But you do want the viewer's eye to roam and wander over the piece.
Yeah, where'd I get? I sort of lost that thread, didn't I?
To figure out what they can figure out.
Yes.
In addition to whatever clues you give them.
Yeah, I sort of went off on a tangent there. It was Joy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Joy. Yes, generally speaking, if your eye locks into one area and has no reason to go elsewhere in the composition, it makes it a simpler read and a less interesting read. But if your eye goes here first, then over there, and down there, and then over there, and then back to that thing, and then over to there, and then down there,
and discover something new,
and lots of artists spend a lot of time like, oh, I'm going to orchestrate this thing bigger, this thing smaller, this is punchy, this is quiet, so that there are all these interesting things to discover. And the longer your viewer spends looking at it, still finding interesting stuff, the better, right? I always say the worst thing is that someone should take a look at your art and go, okay, what's next, right? You want them to be like,
You're such a hand.
right? You want them engaged.
That was cute. Adele. Oh, so Mia said, Adele, I got your collage mixed up with Valerie's. They merged together in my mind. Sorry for the muddle. Adele writes, my kids were there and they raved about it.
It airs, right? Yeah. Yeah. The rock formerly known as Airs, right?
It's something like Uglulu or something now. It's gonna come back to me hours later.
Yep. Classic, right?
Mia says, it seems to me that art is like a good book. You have to view/read it over and over.
Yeah. And it benefits from it, right? It's like, we've all read a book where we remembered it was great and we reread it and like, oh, right, it wasn't as good the second time. The really good stuff, it's like, wow, I got so much more out of that the second time around. That's how you know it's really good. And same thing with art, right? You go back to like, oh, I love that painting. You go back and look at it and think, this is the same painting, but it's a different painting because I'm a different person now. And look at all the stuff I'm still seeing in it, right?
Joy asks. Joy is full of questions.
Yes, excellent.
Joy asks, how would you title the piece you're doing now? Are you ready to do that?
You know, chances are it's going to be the title of the song because it's about the song. So in this case, it will have to be something strange not to be, but it might be like the song is called Tournament of Hearts, but it might be something that plays on that. But chances are it's going to be Tournament of Hearts in this case.
Mia says, you are reading my mind again, Cal.
Sorry. It's just so darn interesting.
Françoise says, the title on the page of my magazine right now is The Eye Has to Travel. Isn't that perfect?
Yes. Wow.
That could be a motto for life and for art.
Yes.
Oh, and Valerie has solved the mystery. And I wasn't too far off. Ayers Rock is now called Uluru.
Uluru. Okay.
See, I was on the right
you were
track.
very close. Yeah.
Yeah, my memory works in strange and weird ways. Mia says, Uluru, the world's largest monolith and an Aboriginal sacred site, is Australia's most famous natural landmark. Thank you very much, Valerie and Mia. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Tourists used to climb it. Well, probably the European descendant Australians used to as well, but I think they've stopped that finally. Joy's newspaper page says, the tapestry we weave. Irene says, hi, Kim and Cal.
Hi, Irene.
Hi, Irene.
Are you joining us late or?
No, she's been with us.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Remember, she
You've been-
saw at 8 years old, saw the cancer movie.
Ah, right, right. I figure I'll take a picture of this because you never know, it might come in handy, whether or not I go with it.
It'll help you see it better too.
Yes, that's for sure. So I see that we are a little past time.
Oh, sorry. we're 11 minutes past time.
So we will wrap up in another 5 minutes or so. I hope you've had fun collaging along a song. And I really look forward to both listening to the soundtracks and seeing the visuals. And remember, if you know how to do that, I mean, all you have to do, I'll just tell you in case it's helpful. But again, if you have any trouble, just put the song title and who it's by, and we'll do it. But if you go on YouTube and find a video of the song, you just copy the web address out of the browser window at the top and paste it into Facebook, and it will show up. So it's actually pretty straightforward. And you
remember to hit post.
Yeah, remember to hit post, and you can do it as a comment to your own, so that it's part of the, like, you have your image, and then it's a comment that you're making on your own, and so it'll be linked to the it'll be in the same place as your
That's really
visual.
helpful.
That is helpful, because yes, if you do it as a separate post, it's like, okay, the picture's up there and the music is down there somewhere. So yeah, do it as a comment to your own post. So looking forward to it.
Got some comments to catch up on.
All right,
here.
hit me.
Irene says, I am excited to tell you during my time with you this afternoon, I found my notebook from a few years ago when I first took a collage course with Cal. And she has all her notes.
The studious student teacher.
Yeah.
You're a model of
teacher student.
Yeah.
Joy says, sorry, Kim, no soup today. It's a fruit pie.
Life's tough. Fruit pie?
Fruit pie.
Yeah.
Wow. Irene says, from the brilliant exercises you gave us. Yes, he does give excellent exercises, doesn't he? Mia says, did anyone send or post their matchstick collages to the Scottish site?
So last night, and the idea was you had to post them to Instagram and use their hashtag, and I did it last night. But then as I was posting, I realized, oh, the call was the deadline was midnight Greenwich Mean Time,
not our
Sunday
time.
night, and I was working to midnight our time, so I think I was too late. So I posted them anyway, and I've got my fingers crossed that they'll take pity on me, but we'll see. So, but I think a few other people did on Instagram. Francoise, I think you must have. I know some of you are on Instagram. So,
Anne says, such a good part of the process to take a photo at various points. That way, if you forget later what you had in mind, it's still there. Thank you so much for such an inspiring afternoon.
Oh, you're welcome. So I just want to show you one little thing, and while Kim will read me some more comments, but I was thinking, oh, I wonder if I should have like a dark piece sort of behind here. And so I was thinking, how am I going to cut it to match that curve perfectly? I'm going to show you a trick. I don't know whether I'll do it, but I'll show you how I'll do it. And Kim will read me a couple more comments while I do.
Rena says, time flies when you're having fun. Thanks so much, Rena, with a heart emoji.
Yeah, thank you, Rena. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming. Val says, thanks. Actually got 2 collages done based on songs. That's
Wow.
great. She had mentioned that she found it challenging or difficult.
Yeah, well, you obviously got over that challenge just fine, Val.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Irene says, thank you. It was great. Sarah says, thanks so much. Had fun.
So that's kind of easy and fun, isn't it?
That's great. Making a slot.
Yeah, so just a slit. And then I can try, what does it look like if I put something dark behind it? Actually, it might be kind of fun. So we'll see.
Ricky says thank you.
Thanks, Ricky.
Mia says thank you,
Stay
Kim
safe.
and Cal. Another amazing collage afternoon. Joy writes, thanks for all the explanations, Cal. I'm learning every time. Looking forward. Françoise says she did, as in.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's submitted.
I'm so
yeah.
glad,
yeah.
Françoise. Mia says, I hope they will accept them, Cal.
I hope so too. But professional tip 101, always make sure you know what the call said, not what you think it said, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a shame to go to all the trouble and then realize, oh, right, I should have.
Well, and I thought you actually did a pretty brilliant job with yours. So I was sad that they didn't make it.
Well, I posted them in the hope that they might anyway.
Val says that she posted her matchbook collage, so that's great.
Yeah, good.
Françoise says, thanks, Cal, for a super day.
Oh, thank you, Françoise. Yes, you've been with me all day. Go and take a nap. And she's been overachieving in my other class. She's been like, okay, the exercise is do 1 painting during a week, and she did like 8 or 9.
Catherine says, thanks. I loved thinking about that song. That's
wonderful.
Good.
Yay. Yeah, exactly.
Mia, wow. Thank you for today's tips and tricks.
It's a joy spending it with you guys. So I started out a little wan with the bad weather and everything, and just because we spent time together, I feel so much better. So
you're buoyed up by your community.
Yeah, thank you, community.
Yeah, that's why we have to do these things. Gwen says, thank you for the great visit and art. Did 3 pages of color swatches, which I will post later on Instagram.
Oh, well done, Gwen.
Sherry says, loved this prompt. We all benefit from the creative thinking of you two.
It's kind of like, for me, I get to do one of my favorite parts of teaching without having to do everything, right, that a class involves. Like, I love coming up with the ideas. I got lots of ideas to throw at you, and then you guys like also suggest things like that idea of like the letters in the name, like you thought someone said that sounded good, so yeah, it's going to go in the prompt tub and it'll come out at some point. So
Jane says, thanks guys, always fun. Elaine says, thanks Kim and Cal for a great afternoon of poetry reading, laughter, good discussion, and collage. Thank you, Elaine. We're so glad you were here.
Yay.
Judy says, it usually takes me ages to finish. So great to hear that it is a process. Thanks again, Cal. Always learn a lot.
Oh, good. Yay.
And the final message is Nancy saying, enjoyed the session as usual. Not having much luck with my creation, but we'll keep trying. Exactly.
Yeah. And if you've been working at it for a little while, Nancy, definitely leave it on the desk. Walk away, make dinner, have a nap, do something else, come back at it a little later or in the morning. It's magic. The back of your mind will have figured out some things. You'll see it with fresh eyes, and a bunch of stuff will start clicking. Promise. Well, almost promise.
And Nancy posted hers to the Edinburgh.
Oh, good. Yes, yeah. The one with the fallen angel. That was a really good one. So yeah, I've got my fingers crossed for you. Yeah.
And Marcia says that was fun. Thanks, Kim and
Oh,
Cal.
good, Marcia.
Thanks for coming,
yeah,
Marcia.
Thanks, Marcia.
We should wrap this baby up.
Yeah.
It's now 10 minutes too.
It's because it was so darn good.
Yeah.
So thank you,
take
everyone.
Care, everybody.
See you later. See you next Monday. Watch for the prompt and email. And definitely check out nationalartsdrive.com if you want to show work on your front lawn, driveway, balcony, whatever on June 6th. Okay, see ya.